Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Time for some quick, real talk. The reason why your business isn't growing to where you would like it to be at this point in exchange for all of your time, energy, and money isn't because you don't have some large audience, isn't because you don't have a big email list, isn't because you don't have some secret hashtag strategy or time to post a reel every single day. You are missing a foundational key component for any business. I don't care if you're a restaurant, if you're a realtor, if you're a coach, if you're a healer, you're a medical practitioner. Every single type of successful business must have this, and you're missing it. And that is how to share your offers and products in a way that feels good to you and your ideal client. And there's nuances to doing this so you don't come across manipulative, sleazy, pushy, or annoying to your people, and then they just think you only care about them for money and they're turned off and they unfollow you or they unsubscribe. You haven't learned a way to do this to where you feel excited to share your products. You feel happy to launch a new thing because you know it's going to help people, and you know for sure you're not going to turn them off. In fact, you're going to turn them on so much that they're going to be excited and grateful that you created this thing and buy from you. That's what you need. You don't need to have thousands and thousands of people in order to convert them into cash once you know how to do this. And I am teaching you that. This is my signature program, Selling with Soul, that I only offer once a year. Right now, we are in early bird pricing for it just for 48 hours. All the details are on the sign up page at projectmewithtiffany.com/selling with soul. projectmewithtiffany.com/selling with soul. If you're tired of people telling you they can't afford it, you're tired of spending hours on creating content and none of it's converting into cash, you finally want to get paid for doing what you love and have it feel good. You're tired of having strangers that follow you and they're telling you how inspiring you are and how helpful you are, but they're not buying. Let me show you how, using my very famous emotional-based sales techniques that I have refined and massaged for the last 15 years. These are responsible for over $160 million of sales transactions in a wide variety of industries and niches, from solopreneurs all the way to multi-billion-dollar companies. These techniques work. I've taught them to hundreds of thousands of people, and I'm bringing them to you, the small business owner, at a micro fraction of the price. Again, it's early bird, so you get 1,000 off right now. And I've added, for the first time ever, crazy payment options so that there is not one single person that couldn't make this happen. That is how much conviction I have that you will absolutely get results and start converting those strangers into paying clients on repeat after having 5 weeks with me. So go check out all the details on the page. Again, you only have 48 hours. That's it. And then early bird goes away. Go to projectmewithtiffany.com/selling with soul. The link is also in the show notes. You can swipe up or go visit me on Instagram at ProjectMeWithTiffany. And I'm excited to get you making some serious bank this year. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. It's your host, Tiffany, and today you will be, without a doubt, entertained, but we're also going to get a key problem of yours solved. I hear it all the time, at least several times a week, between people inside my posse membership, private clients, people in my mastermind. you guys get really confused. And I don't mean it in a rude way, but you get confused about selling more than one type of product or infusing more than one type of business into your various digital content. So maybe you are in network marketing, but you also want to have a coaching business. Well, how do I show both? Maybe you're someone who's more into affiliate marketing and you want to share your love for makeup, but you also want to share your love for a great program that you did and make money off that. How do you do that without confusing your audience? So you multi-passionates need to stand by because you want to be able to infuse more things that then the dots don't easily connect. Now, before I introduce the guest that we have for today, I want to say this. Not everything of yours is meant to be monetized. And I know you want to, but especially when you're a multi-passionate, like if it really doesn't make sense, that doesn't mean you can't monetize it eventually. But if you want to be making some cash, you got to put some stuff aside. Like most of you don't know, like I'm really 12 years old. I'm obsessed with sparkles and Legos. Like I legit build Legos. Do you see my ass monetizing Legos? You do not see me monetizing anything about Legos. And you probably didn't even know that about me. I don't even share it that much. It's a true hobby. I'm not trying to make money off it. Although back in the day, I was the person, and those of you who are like 18 listening or like 23, you're like, your ass is old. Yes, I'm old. Who remembers Zach the Lego Maniac? Anyone remember Zach the Lego? Oh, come on. You guys weren't into Legos. So there was like a magazine and that you could submit pictures of your Lego creations and then get featured in the magazine. That's how hardcore I was. This is also only child syndrome where I would do this for hours, but I'm not monetizing that shit. So to help you get this clarity and then know how to finesse and share content where you are able to monetize more than one thing, not 10 things, but more than one thing, I brought on one of my friends, one of my longtime highly successful clients, and a top Instagram business coach and social selling expert, Emmy Cornwell. She's crazy. She's also one of my ProjectME top coaches, and she serves my high level people in my programs, helping them do a lot of the stuff we're talking about today and really getting intricate in the art and the strategy and the science behind content creation. Like she and I can geek out. We could probably, honestly, don't you think we could talk for like 6 hours about intense content strategy?
Yes, we could. We could talk about the art, the science, what props we should be ordering from Amazon in order to be posting it in a certain spot on our Instagram to elicit a feeling in you that's going to ultimately help you in your business. There is strategy behind the craziness and the method of madness that we have. And so I love being able to chat with you. And I'm excited to be here on the podcast, to be doing this with you. You are crazy. I think you're the queen of crazy. That's probably one of the reasons why we get along. And I feel like I just learned something new about you.
You didn't know about the Legos, did you?
I did not know about this might be an untapped, if Instagram would go away tomorrow, maybe we would find Tiffany on her own show with purple Legos and chill glitter just coming down from the top of the crowned castle. Queen Tiffany.
It would be possible. I mean, I do a lot of weird shit you guys don't know about. And so do you. I mean, you
Totally.
have a lot of tell us what's one of your true hobbies that you're like, I'm not going to try to monetize that, at least not today.
Yeah. Would you believe me if I told you I love to knit? And I
lying.
And I knit sweaters.
You do not.
For cats named Stan.
Are you lying?
I am lying.
Oh my God. I am so gullible. I totally believed you. I was like, really?
That'd be pretty funny though if I did.
I was like, okay, but I kind of believed it because you're a nut. Okay, so what is something that's a hobby of yours or that you enjoy that would be a good example for the people listening that it really wouldn't make sense for your brand for you to try to like weave that in there to monetize it somehow?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think it comes down to who you are. Your brand, you are the star of the show. Your brand is based off of you. It's not based off of what products or services you're selling or providing for someone. And so for me, one of the things that I weave into my brand, who I am, who I was created to be, is my faith. And so I go to a lot of ministry events. I'm very active in my church, whether that's serving in the community or if that's out evangelizing, whatever it is, I have not chosen to maybe go into like a Christian business coaching aspect. But you very much can tell that faith is a brand pillar, or like Tiffany likes to call it, brand bucket of my brand. That is something that is inherently, intrinsically who I am, and you can easily identify that. But it's not something I'm trying to monetize. I'm not writing Christian books. I'm not writing Christian blogs. I'm not providing Christian courses. I'm not providing any of those things that are specific to that. It's more than a hobby for me, but that is the number one thing that I would say that I'm not monetizing. That in the future, I would love to be more in straight up traditional ministry. Right now, I actually believe that I'm in what's called marketplace ministry. So yes, I'm an Instagram business coach and a social selling expert, but my mission is to help women unlock their true identity. And the vehicle and the nice little package and bow that I get to do that in is with my private clients and with the content that I serve. It helps women unlock something in their story when I share what I've gone through and where I've gotten, how I've gotten to be where I'm at today. So that's the bigger vision. That's the bigger picture for me.
So what made you when you work with a client and they come to you, and let's say they came to you and they were similar to you, they're like, I'm very faith-based. I have a product, I have one, or I want to have a product I sell, like a physical product, whether that be nails, makeup, collagen, whatever. They like that idea of, making money from sharing, some types of products that they love. So they want that involved. And they also want to be a coach. And then they also are really into interior design and crafting. What would you say or ask that person to help whittle down what they should really be focusing on monetizing?
I would ask them a couple of different questions, but one of them would be like, what are you good at? Some of you may be listening, actually have a 9-to-5 or a corporate job, or you're not fully an online entrepreneur just yet. You do things in your everyday life that most likely you're not aware of, that you're really, really good at. Maybe you're super organized, or maybe you really like numbers and stats and Excel sheets. Well, you're taking what you're good at, what God has given you and your giftings, and then you're just pairing it with what there is a demand for and who you want to speak to. So it's kind of like a 3-prong approach. It's like, what are you good at, paired with who do you want to actually serve? And then the third is there a demand for it in the market? I mean, that's just traditional business. I did go to school for business. There has to be a demand for it.
She actually, she is smart. So you guys.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the craziness. I say all the time, man, you want to play me in Jeopardy? I will kick your.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Terrible. See, here's the thing. Emmy's actually smart and I'm not.
I don't know about that.
Any sort of like trivia, Jeopardy, I don't even bother. Terrible, horrible.
I have a really good vocabulary as well.
Wow.
I used to, for the SATs, I remember in high school sitting at a kitchen counter with my friend and her mom, and we had flashcards of all these different words, and we would be tested and things like that. So one of the things that I know in my private clients is we're working with their personal brand, especially if they're very intelligent or they have a lot of education. They usually write, for instance, like their Instagram caption, they'll write as if they're writing a thesis or a doctrine or very, very professional. Per your email, Please see the attached document. No, we don't talk like that. So on social media, you need to put the social back in social media, which means you need to write like you would actually speak. So even though I have a very high vocabulary and I love words, something else I can geek out on, that's not going to resonate with my ideal client. So I will say gotta, or I'll say wanna. This is the art and science that Tiffany is talking about that normal people wouldn't necessarily like dig into. But this is this type of stuff that I do with my clients that it's small, but it actually makes a big difference. Because at the end of the day, we're all human. We all want to be loved, and we all want to connect. And social media is not just a platform to sell, it's a platform to connect, to then ultimately sell. Yes, if you do have a product or service.
Yeah, connection first. And that needs to really be, you need to embody that. Like and sometimes you're going to have to get yourself back in there, especially if right now you're broke, you're in debt, nothing is working, no one's buying. And you're like upset. And when is this going to work? Nothing's happening. And your ego's in charge. If you don't get back and embody its connection first and truly being of service and servitude first, I'm telling you, you guys are going to repel the shit out of people. Don't you think?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, your social media, although because I use a lot of metaphors, which would give you more examples of how smart I am. Oh man, sometimes those metaphors go south. I try and do something funny, but it doesn't necessarily always work out. But what you want to do is, at the end of the day, it's not about you, right? You're the star of the show. Yes, you're the face of your personal brand, but your social media is not about you. And if it is, then you're creating what I call me content. Me, me, me. It's all about me. Look at me. Look at how pretty I am. Look at how cool I am. Look at how smart I am. Look at how much money I'm making. Look at how many fake clients I'm pretending to tell you that I actually have that I don't have. But, don't even get me started down that route. But it's about the person you serve. It's about your ideal client. So you want to create what I like to call we content. How are you helping them take one step closer to their goal? Not your goal for them, but their goal. That should always be at the forefront of the content that you create. And if that's the case, your content is going to resonate more. You're going to build more relationships. We're in the relationship building business. Honestly, that's one of the reasons why I love Instagram. There's over 1 billion users on the platform, which means I could have, and you could have, over 1 billion friends and ultimately over 1 billion leads. And really that's what I do, is I help my clients generate more leads and cash with just using Instagram alone.
So the people who are the overthinkers, overanalyzers, multi-passionates, which is like 90% of my audience, going, okay, I heard your questions, Emmy. I'm good at a lot of things. Like a lot of people who are in the mindset space, healing type space, the service space, a lot of service-based entrepreneurs, they are genuinely good at a lot of things. You are good at a lot of things. I am great at a lot of things, right? So how do you know which of those things you should be focusing on? Because here's my analogy for it. If you start showing that you're an expert at, let's just say, 8 things, now it's like a sprinkler system effect, right? Where everything's getting a little watered. But nothing's really catching. It's like that saying, you're the master of, what is it? Master of all? No. Jack of all trades, master of none. There we go. I got it.
Perfect.
Versus we want to fire hose people. We want to fire hose people where it is so clear what you're an expert on and look at how I introduced Emmy. She's an Instagram business coach and a social selling expert, period, end of story. It's short, it's clear, and then she repeats it in her content. So then when someone who follows her, maybe like right now, they don't need her services, or they're being a cheap ass and too scared to spend money hiring someone, and they're still hoping and posting. Just saying, calling some of you out with love. They might have a friend or an uncle or whatever who has a business and wants to monetize it using Instagram and doesn't know how. And they're like, oh, I know an Instagram business expert. But if you're telling them I know how to heal your anxiety and help you with ADHD and also create content. Oh, and also create inner peace within yourself and also manifestation. Oh, and I also use this collagen product. It's like, what the hell is happening here? That's not a plan. Are you looking at your phone to see if that damn monetization on Instagram went through? You are. I just called your
No. No, but it better, because after being disabled, that would be quite a turn of events. My account was disabled the other day. Not just like, too many activities, like, you followed, unfollowed, or you made too many comments, or you like too many things, because that is a reality. You cannot do too many activities in a shorter period of time because the algorithm thinks you're a bot. That's really what it comes down to. The algorithm thinks you're a bot. So my account was disabled. Like, you couldn't even find it.
Yeah, I mean, it was gone. Emmy's having a choking attack, so I'm going to talk to you for a minute. So her account was completely gone. I mean, imagine your account being completely gone. And she doesn't believe me. She wouldn't be a ProjectME coach if she bought followers or likes like most of these people. She doesn't do any of that. It was totally random, which is why, even though she focuses on being, an Instagram business coach, we also make a point of saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Emmy started an amazing podcast this year, so you can check it out. That'll be in the show notes as well. She also has a really highly engaged Facebook audience as well. So she also has a really great email list, not oh, here's my newsletter. She was taught TIFF style. There's actual good shit in there, right?
It's lit.
It is lit. So
I don't think the kids say that anymore, by the way.
They probably don't. And they also don't say epic. And then I'm like, you know what they say? Clutch, but I just can't do it. Yeah. This is going to be like this episode. We came in clutch with the Instagram tips.
I mean, it's true. We did. We did. We're doing.
But that is the thing. That's the word. You can always tell usually where someone is from. And I love when my international listeners DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany and DM Emmy at Hey Emmy. I want to know wherever you're from in the world, because we have people from over 50 countries that listen. I love hearing what is the saying for amazing? What is your new version of it being epic, clutch? I say legit all the time, but that's like a Tiffanyism. This is going to be legit. That's
I say bomb.com, or I say this is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I love hearing though, what people say in different countries. I think it's really cool. So going back to, okay, what do I focus on? People like the literal stuff. Would you agree that focusing on any more than two very clear things that you monetize on your social media platforms under your personal brand of Hey Emmy would be a bad idea?
Yeah, because when you try to speak to everyone, you sell to no one. And cute and clever is going to confuse people. It's not going to convert. And you're a businesswoman. You're not running a charity. You're not Mother Teresa. You're not Gandhi or whatever the male version is. You are running a business, and you need to be able to sell. So you want to cash in, you want to convert. You're not just here to get likes, which, by the way, doesn't matter anyways. Likes aren't the currency anymore, right? So you do have to narrow down your focus. We talk about having a niche, right? And that is absolutely true. And it has to be tangible. Even if you're in the healing space, even if you're in this more service-based, or you don't have a product specifically that you're selling, you have to solve a tangible problem for someone. What is that tangible thing? Confidence, I'm sorry, sister, does not sell. Okay? It doesn't. Right? And living your best
truth,
life.
right?
Oh,
living your truth. I help women live their truth out loud. That is not, what does that mean? If you're going, I want you guys do this trick. This is something I was taught in journalism school. read every piece of content from your titles to your offers to your subject lines of your emails to your hook lines, all of it. Read it out loud and go, A, would I talk like this in real life? B, when you hear yourself saying it out loud, or even have like your significant other or a friend read it to you, if your first response is, if a stranger said that to you on an airplane, when you ask them what they do for a living, would it be clear to you, or would you go, what the hell does this person even do?
Well, even when we were crafting my I help statement and bio together, which we partnered on, I had to check myself because remember, I have a communication studies and a business background. I have a master's degree.
Because she's really smart.
Right, you're right. I'm gonna rock. Thank you. Someone finally acknowledges my intelligence
after your $150,000 of education.
You gotta tell my husband. One day he'll agree with you. He just doesn't want to, admit that I'm right. But I had to like even check that because it's very short and clear. I help online business owners generate more leads and cash with Instagram. My training is to fluff it up, to add all the adjectives you could imagine, to pretend that that's going to make it more credible. No, I mean, in your bio, you have a line specifically for a credibility statement. You don't have to prove your credibility in your I help statement, but your I help statement is referenced around the niche of that one tangible problem that you're solving. Someone who wants to, you're a weight loss coach. Well, we know that when you lose weight, your confidence does increase, but they're not walking around asking, oh my God, man, I just wish, like, if only statements, if only I, had more confidence, then I would lose weight. No, they want to lose weight like 2 years ago.
The weight loss is first, right? If only I could lose weight, then I would feel. You're not selling the then I would feel. They're not buying the then I would feel. They want the next step, which is which is the weight loss, because then they will feel better in their clothes. Then they will attract because this is what they believe. It's what I used to believe too. Then they'll attract the love of their life. Then they'll finally show up on video or whatever.
Exactly. And so if you're really wanting to monetize something that you're good at and the group of people group that you want to serve, it has to be tangible. It cannot be airy fairy. It cannot be up in the clouds. I mean, thank goodness that people maybe aren't getting it because it's job security for me, but I cannot believe that we're still talking about this, years and years later. And it's usually because it's an ego thing. Our ego we all have egos, and not like in a bad way. Our human design is we have been placed with an ego to do what? Protect ourselves, to self-protect. And so if you're allowing the ego to step forward and to drive your decisions may get you some success, but it's not going to be sustainable and it's not going to be long-term. And I know if you're listening to this podcast, you're not looking for a one and done. You have, whether Tiffany knows it or not, have asked her into your life to mentor you in some aspect, which, by the way, you can have mentors and they don't even have to know it, right? Or you've never even met them. But essentially, by you listening to this podcast, you have invited her into your space, into your life, to speak into you. And let me just tell you on a personal level, side note, this girl is legit. Like, my life has forever changed. She's not someone who just, charges an X amount for her services and doesn't deliver the results. And I am someone, and I'm not the only one, thank goodness for her, right? But I am someone who you can see it playing out. I went from being a full-time elementary school librarian who intentionally chose to work at a pizza and pub place and be a bartender and serve pizza as part-time. So I would go to school from like 8 to 4. Then I would drive over to the pizza place and I would serve until 10. I wouldn't get home till 11. When I was doing that, at the height of that, I also was pivoting from a previous network marketing company because, guys, I'm multi-passionate too, right? I have a very successful coaching business and practice. That is my main job. But I also have a very successful network marketing team business that moves over $100,000 of collagen a month. Okay.
She's a pudding whore.
In case you didn't hear that number, over $100,000 in product, not in a year, in a month.
Wow. No, I actually thought it was a year. Holy crap.
In a month.
Wow.
Now, my personal volume is anywhere from, let's say on average about $4,000 to $6,000 a product a month, all done through Instagram stories. So I get it. I'm multi-passionate too. And when I was starting my business, so I was pivoting from one network marketing company because they restructured to what I'm doing now in social retail is the model, which, by the way, no other network marketing company is doing what this company is doing. If you Google social retail, only one company comes up because it's a new model in the direct sales industry. So, you can social sell with other companies, whether you're in network marketing industry or not, but no one is doing social retail like the company I'm a part of. And that's very successful. So I was pivoting out of the old structure into the new company. And then I was also pivoting out of health and wellness coaching into being an Instagram business coach and social selling expert. So I get it. I didn't have a lot of time. I like a lot of different things. I also was getting married. So I was planning a wedding during the pandemic, which, that's not exactly fun to do either. Right. And I had hired Tiffany at this time. So, if you're believing the lie that I'm waiting for the right time to do anything in your business, whether it's hiring a coach or just starting, that's crap.
Yeah. I mean, and the waiting for the right time, and I repeat things on purpose. I was waiting for this magical time. I was waiting for like God to give me this grand sign. And 10 years later, with the name ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, early renditions of a logo, brand colors, even having an idea of like my content buckets, like clear understanding of who I even wanted to help, and had major cash in the bank. It wasn't like I didn't have money in the bank to start the business. So when people say, oh, I don't have money, it's like, well, no business starts with a pile of money in the bank unless you're that 1% that has a trust fund or a rich husband. And Emmy and I are not in that category.
No,
unfortunately.
We're making that money, honey.
Yeah, we're making our own money, honey. So if you are waiting for that, and I get it because I did it, but that's why I keep hammering it in. It never happened. What happened is I realized it was 10 years and I was so horrified with myself and I was so miserable. And I had another company. So entrepreneurship wasn't new to me, but I had another company and I was like, it's not like that company. It's intellectually fulfilling, but it doesn't fulfill my heart or service. And I was like, I just have to do this because look how fast time goes. Like, I mean, last time I checked, it was like 2020. Like, what the hell is going on? Right?
I feel like it was 2019.
It's like shout out 2019. We miss you.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yes. Memories are coming up that I'm like, hey, remember all the plans to travel you had and all the plans you had to do X, Y, and Z? Man, but you can't live in the past, right? But the reason why I shared with you kind of my story of what I did, when I was in a corporate job is because we're talking about niching, right? So ultimately, as I was transitioning from health and wellness into business coaching and taking even back to the question I asked you at the top, I loved Instagram. I loved it because it was my creative outlet. It took what I've learned over the years, my knowledge, my education, something that I enjoyed. I've always loved entertainment. I believe that I will be on TV one day. I will have my own show, right? So Instagram for me was fun, but I realized I needed something tangible that I was good at, that I wanted to talk about until I was blue in the face. Because that's what you're going to do in your niche. Tiffany repeats stuff. I repeat stuff. I teach my clients to repeat stuff because that's what you want to do. Only 4% of people on a good day see your stuff. And new people are constantly, if you're doing this right, coming into your network. So are you going to be able to have brand stories that you repeat where you share your chapter 2 when someone's coming in on your chapter 30? Because right now, especially when I'm looking to partner with people who want to make massive money in affiliate marketing, because that's what I do with my social retail business, I am looking for people who are up to something, right? They're not just like stay-at-home moms, right? We have a lot of stay-at-home moms on team, but I want someone who knows that they can do this on the side truly in a way that still allows them to have like their personal brand come forward. Because that's honestly the best way to be successful in network marketing, is to build a brand outside of your company. But I wanted to do Instagram, and I wanted that tangible piece that would allow me to step into my gifting, to step into what I'm good at, get people wins, and not only just work with people who are going to sign up for my team and partner with me. I knew there were more people I was meant to help, and I'm able to do that through my Instagram coaching business, and then also showcase how to sell multiple different things, multiple different businesses in one single platform like Instagram.
Let me ask you this. I have your Instagram pulled up. Again, her Instagram is at Emmy. So if you want to, a lot of you learn by example. So if you want to really like study and look at solid examples of the pairing of science, art, and strategy in terms of content, both in all forms, Instagram stories, videos, posts, reels, you name it. You can look at Emmy's account. Of course, you can look at mine at ProjectME with Tiffany. There aren't many people's accounts where I would approve for you to study, because I'm very particular about what you learn. So you can go over there and look. But here's what I notice when I'm on your account. Like if I was a new person landing on your account, there is no mention of collagen. There are no pictures that I'm seeing in the first few flicks of my thumb looking in your squares of you with a spoon and putting in your mouth. Like I don't see any mention of that. All I see is Instagram, biz expert and Instagram tips and, making money using Instagram. So can you explain to us why that is?
That's on purpose.
Yes, I know. It's why I'm asking you. Why is that?
It's strategic because I don't want someone. Here's the thing. I absolutely love the network marketing industry. I do believe it's the best way to make the most amount of money in the quickest amount of time with the lowest overhead, especially if you're new to entrepreneurship. You learn really great personal development. It kind of is like a launching board. Actually, a lot of successful people in the online space that you probably know, but this is what you may not know, they started in network marketing.
That's true. Facts.
I can think of it.
I'm a rarity. I never have monetized it. And the only person who probably could ever get me to would be Emmy. She's been working on it for like a long time.
I think I would die and go to heaven if that happened.
But you're right though. A lot of them, I mean, Chris and Lori Harder, for example, my best friend, Tracy O'Malley, a lot of these people that you see that have really great followings and you're like, oh, it's not from what they're doing now. They got that from network marketing and building these big teams. That's true.
And that's how they not bought. That was a Freudian slip. That's how they built some of their influence, right? Because when you build a huge network marketing team, you're mentoring people from afar, and people will, then you start to create courses or things that will help. People are going to buy them because you've already built that know, like, and trust factor. So I want to preface that before I say there's a lot of weird stuff that network marketers do. Like there's a lot of stuff that pisses me off about the industry. I think I just did a podcast episode on like how to not be weird in network marketing, because there are normal people making awesome money who aren't being spammy tammy, who aren't cold messaging 5 million different people because you just got told by your upline to make a list, or who aren't, only showcasing one product. Listen, if you have any type of product, whether it's network marketing or not, you want to actually, here's a really great way. I like to call these money hits that you can sell your product even more, is you showcase it with a complementary product. So for instance, if I was selling a skincare line, I'm not going to only show just my skincare products because that's weird. No one in their right mind only uses one brand of anything. I don't use one brand of supplements. I don't use one brand of makeup. I don't use one brand of anything. I have leggings from Lululemon. I have leggings from Zella. Right. So it's weird. So there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in network marketing. And it wasn't until I shifted over from network marketing to social retail, this model, that I was allowed to step in and be Emmy. I didn't have to be a network marketing robot. I got to come to the forefront. I got to decide who I wanted to serve and who I wanted to sell to. And so it is very strategic that you do not see anything in regards to liquid collagen or the company name, not because I'm trying to be manipulative, not because I'm trying to hide anything. Yes, am I eliciting curiosity marketing? 100%, because curiosity then will lead to conversations, and conversations equals cash. So if you're using the link sticker, for instance, in your stories left and right, guess what? It's not converting. And here I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to show you and I'm going to prove it to you. Are you ready? I want you to go to your insights right now and I want you to pull them up. If you scroll down, there's a section that says stories. You click on stories. Okay. Then in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to click on the little drop down. I think it usually says reach to start with. You're going to click down until it says link. It's going to show you all the stories that you've used a link in the last 7 days. And you know what else it's going to show you? How many times people actually clicked on it. I'm guessing not very many, unless you're a blogger who has a very highly engaged audience and you are actually already trained your audience that you as a blogger are going to share about 50 different things. That's the difference between a blogger and someone who's really trying to monetize their coaching practice or their network marketing or entrepreneurial business. A blogger has trained their audience that it's not weird for them to showcase 50 million different things. But
that takes a long time to build up, by the way.
Yes. And that actually takes a long time. Blogging is a full-time job. But that's not you. So if you're trying to 50 million different things, remember, you're going to confuse people. So that's just an example. Don't do that. That's in your stories, right? I sell in my stories. That's why you don't see it on a feed, because I don't want someone to not open the door because they have had MLM hurt. They have, PTSD from network marketing. If you say financial freedom or time freedom or all these like weird
laptop lifestyle.
Yeah. Work from Wi-Fi. One, again, goes back to what we were talking about. What does that actually mean? But two, what it does is people just turn off right away. So you've never even provided them an opportunity. This is what hurts my heart, because you have a special gift that you're supposed to share with the world. It doesn't even allow them the opportunity to open the door to walk through to see the message that you're meant to share, because of these weird, language sentences that have no really physical meaning to it. So yes, you will not see it on my feed, but you will absolutely 100% see it in my stories. I sell in my stories. I sold over $10,400 of liquid collagen in my stories alone in November of 2021.
And in 2020, because I remember it was a great number as well.
9,600 in 2020.
It wasn't like a one hit wonder situation. There's consistency there. A lot of people who will be like, I am 5-figure months, and I had a 6-figure month. It's a one-time deal, and they worked their ass off to get it. And I'm not saying Emmy doesn't work her ass off, and I don't work my ass off in seasons, but we prioritize our faith, our health, our spiritual wellness. That our close relationships first, and then business, because I don't want you guys doing more. I actually want you doing less. And so does Emmy, right? We want you doing less and being more laser focused. So my audience, they like it being really specific. And they ask the question all the time, well, like, how many posts a day in your Instagram stories are you showing of the collagen, and how many posts are you showing of Emmy's personal, coaching brand and your brand new membership, which, by the way, if you guys have no idea what to post in your stories, for $2.60 a day, and it's actually less than that, because she's giving my listeners, you guys, $30 off the first month, where you will have all the guesswork taken out of what to post in Instagram stories and how, like, with actual visual examples and tutorials of how to make them look cool. Because if you don't make them look cool, you're losing out on having people be captivated and hooked into your stuff. It's no different than a TV show. So it's cash in on the grams of membership, but you can get $30 off with the code money honey, and just swipe up. The link is right in show notes, and it is also in her link in bio on Instagram at Hey Emmy. So answer the question for the people, because I know you get this question too. How much should I be showing it every single day? Like they want some like magical formula. Do you have a magical formula?
Yeah. So you should be posting 5 to 10 stories a day, just as a general rule of thumb. I actually like to say 4 of those, which is 1 minute, because each slide is 15 seconds, should be you doing what I call face to camera. You need to be talking to the camera. 1 out of 4 people have purchased something from an online brand after watching a story, not a reel, not a video, not a live, a story. And they are not buying it when you're just showing flat lays or graphics. They are buying it when you are putting a human element into your stories. So you should have the goal of speaking 1 to 4 story slides a day, which would put it back to about 12 slides a day. You guys, that's 3 minutes. Don't tell me you don't have time for it. Plus, most of you are doing the lazy thing with your captions and either not putting them on them, or 2, you're using the automated captions one, which I cannot stand, but
I hate it.
Here's what. I'm not a mean person. I try and meet you where you're at. So if you're going to do that, for the love of God, there's more than one option. And I don't think most people know that actually, because if you look at the auto captions, when people do it, there's 4 of them. They use the one that's the first option. When the words roll, they actually don't roll, they scroll, and it takes forever for the next word that's going to come up. You want to go to the 3rd option. You want to make sure that you have the block highlighted so there's like an actual boldness behind it.
Oh, that's how you do that.
Yes. And then you get 3 lines of the caption as opposed to 1 word. And you're just sitting there like, I don't have time for this.
And it looks better. It pops.
Yes. So if you're going to choose the lazy version, at least be strategic and smart about your lazy version. Okay. So let's say 12 stories a day, 4 of those are talking. If you have any product, again, please know that I have clients that are both in network marketing and who are not. I have realtors, I have wedding planners, I have photographers, I have a bunch of different clients that I work with in multiple different industries. You need to, though, show yourself utilizing whatever product or service you have once a day. So if you have, our friend Sam has Chill Glitter, right? She just launched Chill Glitter. She should be using some type of glitter in her stories every day. So Sam, if you're listening.
Which she's not.
Yeah.
So Samantha Parker.
But she knows that. She was excited.
She knows. She does know. That doesn't mean she's going to do it.
Yeah. Her team helped me with my back end of my membership, which you guys, it took me 2.5 years, I think, to develop and to go through a process to really hone in my craft to create something that I know legitimately is going to help you in your business. I am not someone who's basic, just like Tiffany, but I'm also not someone who blows smoke up your butt either. Okay. If it wasn't good, I wouldn't be putting it out there, because I'm an Enneagram 3 who prides myself on achievement and accolades. I ain't getting any awards if I'm producing crappy stuff.
And like you said, if you feel like your website's janky or even like a freebie, if you don't think it's freaking awesome, you're not going to be excited to show up and share it. Same with partnering with a product to be, a social seller for, or if maybe you wanted to be an affiliate for one of my programs. You have to be emphatic. Like, I don't want you faking it. And it like, oh, I mean, it's okay stuff. It didn't really do that much for me. No, it needs to be like, oh my God, like I really do use this product every day. Like this really did improve my skin. Or Tiffany's selling with soul I made, $10,000 more a month. Like I want to be an affiliate for it. You have to, don't just pick anything just because you see like a friend of yours is doing it or whatever. You need to pick something that like really excites you, and your own products you create, your digital products. To your point, I mean, such a great point. If you aren't proud of it, you're going to be kind of insecure about sharing it. You're going to be weird about it, right?
And then you're not going to show up. And then you're going to complain because you're not making any money. And then the coach you hire, oh my God, the coach sucks. It didn't work. No, it's your content that stems from your confidence, that stems from who you're created to be. Right. And that's really why Tiffany says you have to be emphatic about it, because it's not manufactured emphatic. It's real. And so Sam was excited to get her hands on this membership so she could utilize it for Chill Glitter. But if you're an affiliate, this is a great thing that you can do as well. Right. I have a partnership for my nails. So I'm always showing my nails. Right. And I don't have to show my nails and then be like, DM me for the code or swipe up. No, there is soft selling and hard selling. And do you need to do both in your stories? Yes. Not every day, not all day, every day, but at least once a week, you need to make a hard ask for people to either buy, purchase, follow, whatever it is. The goal is the product or service that you're promoting. You have to make a hard ask. It's actually weird if you don't.
Right. They know by your account, unless you have, unless you're brand new and you have like an account that's, yourself is like kind of janky and it looks like a personal account. And that's okay because you're new. We just need to fix it. Right. You don't need to shut down the account. We just need to transform it into a true brand. And everyone starts from somewhere. I mean, if you're really bored, I started this account from scratch 4 years ago. If you're really bored, scroll all the way down at ProjectME with Tiffany and your ass will laugh. There's like a picture of a hand with like a purple mug or something. Like that was my scroll stopping image.
Yeah, but actually that's not the worst because you had the hand in it. So the psychology,
at least I had the hand. You're right.
The psychology of sales, right? That's why we have hand models. That's still a thing today. It's not just something of the 80s. Okay. It's because it provides the sales psychology is something will be shown and with a human element will actually be sold more than if there wasn't. And that's why I say it can't be flat lays. It can't be graphics. And ultimately the best way, which I showed you with that statistic, is video. So what I like to do is if I am going to, Tiffany I like to take pudding that has CLA in it and collagen. It helps you blast your fat, also, all those good stuff.
Where's my goddamn purple spoon?
Okay. I got sick.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Well, and then I thought I was going to see you in person. So I was actually going to hand deliver.
I mean, if you somehow deliver the purple spoon, I might do something with, I'll make a thing out of it. You'll get highly rewarded for it.
I had someone actually message me. I can't remember who it was. It was like, well, I think Tiffany was waiting for her purple spoon. And I was like, how did you know that? It's so funny. But the psychology of sales, right? So if I'm gonna promote the pudding on the day that whatever we're talking about in my stories, one of the ways I like to do that is I can either do a time lapse of my morning routine. Okay. So I sit my video down. I do an iPhone time lapse. You don't even have to talk. So if that's one of your hangups that you don't want to talk to camera, you don't even have to talk to quote unquote be on video to elicit the human element of selling something more. But what I like to do, and you'll see Tiffany dance around too, she just doesn't have the pudding, but I'll put a video down. I'll be dancing around to some 90s music and I'll take my pudding. I'm not going to then at the very next slide be like, you want to buy this? But I'm showing you that I am a person of integrity because what I'm telling you that you should potentially have in your life, if it's a good fit, I'm doing it. I'm not just, back in the day when Kim Kardashian was trying to get, famous for not just being Paris Hilton's friend. Do you remember she and her team, aka Kris Jenner, she would promote everything under the sun. And, they don't do that now because they've gotten smarter. They just create their own products. They've cut the middleman out. But there was like articles I remember being like, she doesn't even use these like apple cider vinegar gummies. She doesn't even use this, Susan Sarandon or Susan Summers Thigh Master thing. Right. So
Wow. That shit was like deep. You went back, like, that's not even in our generation. That's hysterical. I'm dying.
I am an old soul. I'm
You're
38.
you're so freaking fun. It's that like slim fit tee. That's what all those Kardashians did early on.
Yeah, they're manufacturing a reality. You are not the Kardashians. You do not actually need to manufacture reality. But if your reality is not matching up with what you want to sell, that's called you're out of integrity of yourself. And you need to check some priorities and alignment.
And if you don't like the idea of having a product or an affiliate code or anything, if that does not feel good to you and you don't like that, then don't do it, because it won't work. No one will buy from you because it's not something that can be faked. If you're like, no, I want to focus just on, getting more clients for my law practice or for my financial coaching business or whatever, my social media agency. Well, that's fine. Then we'll focus on that. You don't have to have a product.
No, and there's other ways, because ultimately you're documenting your day in stories. So what I do like to talk about stories is your Netflix reality show. And I do love the Kardashians, actually. I really love them. I'm so excited for their new show. Who knew that was going to happen? Oh, I did. Everyone knew when they quit E, they're not going away forever. That's their moneymaker. So now they're going to do the exact same thing just on Hulu. I mean, these chicks Kris Jenner is smart. Okay.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if she was like our business manager? We'd blow up.
I mean, I think I would make her a lot of money.
Absolutely. Chris, you know where to hit us up at Hey Emmy and at ProjectME with Tiffany.
You are her neighbor. I mean, right?
I'll just go knock on her door in Hidden Hills honey, that's behind the gates, as they say in LA. I'm not, side note, in LA. This is an LA conversation. Oh, if you live in like Calabasas, okay. So they'll be like, oh, like, where do you live? And someone will either say, oh, I live in Calabasas, or they'll say like the neighborhood, like if you're talking to a local, or they'll say, I live behind the gates. That's where I don't live behind the gates. We're not there yet. We're not there, but we can get there. We're getting there. But we're not behind the gates yet. But yeah, Kris Jenner's behind the gates.
No, but so think about a reality TV show, not just any TV show. It has to be reality, because reality, it's a form of documentation, right? You're at the pool with the Kim and Chloe, and Courtney's in the pool and they're talking about Scott and whatever. Then they get out of the pool and they follow the pool boy into the kitchen, and now they're going to have their salad. And you want to know what salad it is because you want to look like the Kardashians, because at the end of the day, you're selling a lifestyle. It doesn't have to be the lifestyles of the Kardashians. It doesn't have to be the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Your ideal client may not want to wear Gucci and drive Range Rovers. They may just want to quit their 9 to 5 and not have anyone else tell them what to do. So you are essentially just documenting your day, because the day you're living is in integrity with who you're created to be. And all you do is you're the film crew. That's really the only difference between you and the Kardashians, is you just don't have a film crew. You're a one woman or a one man show, and you're just documenting it. So if it's an integrity that you take supplements every morning, and you just so happen to have that as an affiliate part of your, income strategy, you film it and it's not weird. That's how you sell. And you just do that over and over and over and over again, because that shows that you're walking the walk. You're talking the talk. You're not just trying to make another buck. You're actually being you. And when you are you, that is your secret sauce. That is when the magic happens. And that is when people are drawn to what you're doing, because they know it's not about you. You being you is not about you. You being you is because you're put on this earth to help someone else. So who are you helping?
Reach it. If you are loving this episode and are at least somewhat entertained by us, and you appreciate this straight up strategy we're giving you that you can literally implement right now, take a screenshot of this episode and share it in your Instagram and Facebook stories. Tag us at Hey Emmy, at ProjectME with Tiffany, and then we will reshare in our stories, which, by the way, is a great way for you to get free advertising and exposure when you're shouting things out strategically. So make sure that you do that. And I'm going to select one person from everyone who has taken a screenshot and has tagged both of us to win one of our brand new glitter abundance boxes that will be delivered directly to your house. And there's no other way to get these. We did a really cool giveaway for my Abundance Walk guided meditation series, and that's already over. You can't even get these in my high ticket programs. So one person will win one of our glitter abundance boxes. All you have to do is take a screenshot of the episode. You can also do a face to camera talking about the episode and shouting us out, and make sure you tag us and you'll automatically be entered to win. So I want to end on a burning question, because I know what the people want, and I sometimes save those best questions for last.
Well, we got to give the people what they want, Tiffany.
Yeah, because this is not about us. We don't do this for us. Like, I have other things I could be doing. The show is for you. Here's where people get kind of stuck, is they go, I don't know what to talk about, right? You know, Emmy, you're saying I need to do the face to camera, and I get what you're saying, but oh my God, I don't know what to talk about. Like, my life isn't interesting. My life is boring. So like this whole lifestyle thing you're saying, and I don't dance. So I don't do those, I don't do those things. I live in like kind of a dingy small apartment. Like, what the hell am I going to show? Yeah. What do you have to say to them?
Well, your feed, remember, is niche specific. So when you go to my feed, just as an example, right, it's all about Instagram. So now that we've, just a friendly reminder that your feed is niche specific, in stories, you're going throughout your day. Again, you're not selling a lifestyle of perfection, because perfect doesn't actually sell. It's not relatable. So I like to show the imperfect, quote unquote, realstagram of what's going on. Now, your stories aren't your TED Talk. It's not your Dear Diary. You should share from a place of, a scar versus a wound, right? Vulnerability is the currency, but you don't have to, I've gone through some kind of crazy traumatic stuff in my body the last year. And as I've gotten further and further away, right? When it was a wound was when it happened. When it's a scar is the further out it gets. Time heals, they say, right? Well, there's some other things that you need to do besides just time to heal. But I've been able to share a little bit more as we've gone away from that. But I'm still not giving you the 100% full details. And so vulnerability, you do need to be vulnerable. If you stay on the surface, you're just going to get surface success. And again, that's fine. It may pay a couple bills here and there. You may get a couple high ticket item, clients here and there, but it's not sustainable. So what do you share? Okay, well, what are a few things you do every morning that you do no fail? It's just part of your routine that would be helpful for you to share, that would help your ideal client take one step closer to her goal. I actually worked with one of Tiffany's clients because I'm a certified ProjectME Tiffany coach. And we were talking about her stories, and she asked the same question. And I just said, hey, what are some of the things you do in the morning? It could be as easy and as simple and as mundane as having coffee. She goes, well, I do a pour over. I was like, well, first of all, what's pour over? I was like, I don't even know what that. So right away, she's got me curious. Remember, curiosity creates conversations, and conversations equals cash. She's like, I do a pour over, and then I do some affirmations. I was like, well, you need to show your pour over every day, but in a different way. So maybe you actually show the actual pouring over the coffee. And then maybe you show just you walking with the coffee. Maybe you then do a boomerang of you drinking the coffee. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to then add the affirmations over this coffee every day. So when people land on her page every morning, she does this subconsciously. They know it's another day. So for me, I like to say, because I use my devotional, it's another day of the Emmy show. Subconsciously, people know, just like a reality show, there's always a beginning credits and there's an ending credit. So I will tell you, my devotional slide by far is the number one slide that gets the most engagement in my DMs.
And the same for I know, you know what? It clicked. I go, which client of mine is it? It instantly clicked.
She's phenomenal.
You know why it clicked? Because she's following this exact method you taught her. I know for a fact how much engagement that it's her highest engaging. I know for a fact because, my clients will follow up with me. And I remembered, and I mean, I coach a lot of people. I remembered who it was because of how unique that was. So look at how that worked.
And because, right, we're building a brand, traditional marketing, right? If I said just do it, you would know what brand I'm talking about. So also Tiffany talks about what is your weird thing? So what if my weird thing was knitting sweaters that, for Cat's Name Stand? I need to showcase that because what that does, just like Tiffany is self-proclaimed office supply obsessed. When you go to office supply stores and you see purple Sharpies or purple Post-it notes, who do you think of? You think of Tiffany because it's top of mind. So yes, she is absolutely following this strategy with something that would seem so like, I mean, I don't get it. How could that? It doesn't directly translate to dollars, but remember, you're in the relationship building business. And when people are in your DMs, your stuff actually gets shown to them more. And you're in conversation. And when you're in conversation with people, you're able to get to know them, see if there is something that ultimately you have a product or service that would help their problem. Now, that's a whole nother episode of how to actually have conversations in the DMs and how to do that. But a devotional slide, I swear, it is like I could do it blind and know that I'm going to get at least one a day, a DM from someone about my devotional slide.
See? So if you're going, oh my God, I want that, I'm kind of getting it, but I need more. This is why Emmy has her membership cash in on the gram. She is giving listeners $30 off your first month with the code money, honey. All of that is in the show notes, so you can swipe up. She also has the link on her Instagram at Hey Emmy. And remember, you take a screenshot of this episode, practice some creativity, right? Do a video with it. Show us what you're doing. Well, I know a lot of you are in the shower, but that would still be funny. Show us what you're doing, while listening to the episode. Tag us. One person is going to win our glitter abundance box. This is the only place to get that box. You can't just buy it direct from me. And trust me, the shit in there is really good. I'm so happy we had this conversation, and there's so much more conversation to be had around this. But if this has started getting your wheels turning and you need more help, instead of, for the love of God, just posting, hoping, trying to figure it out, watching my stuff now, watching Emmy's stuff and being like, well, maybe I can try this. I want you to experiment and try. But if you want to shorten that learning curve, if you want to shorten the time frame of where you're at now to making serious cash, well, then you have to pay us, period.
That's why I pay Tiffany. I knew that I had the skill set. I knew I had something to serve the world, but I needed someone to come alongside and partner with me and pull out the thread that, in my opinion, God has woven into you from the beginning of time. Tiffany came out and pulled the thread out to create what now is a beautiful bow to jumpstart me into further and further in my own entrepreneurial journey. I would not be where I'm at if it wasn't for Tiffany. So it did shorten the gap. I could have maybe gotten to the same place, maybe, or I could have, I would have been spinning my wheels. So, I just don't understand. To me, it's a no-brainer.
And you didn't have the money. You weren't sitting on a pile of cash.
No. Tiffany, was kind enough to give me a soft hold for a very short period of time on my spot. And if you want something bad enough, if you value it, people, you know what people do? They afford what they value. And I valued education. I come from a family of educators. Clearly, I've shared with you my education.
We know she's smart.
Yeah. I value education, and I value coaching because I was an athlete. I don't monetize the fact that I could, coach people in goalkeeping skills, which I did back in the day. Right? I valued that, so I was going to partner with the universe and find that cash. and make it happen. And I did. And now I am the one who's imparting that same energy, that same hope, that same faith, that same, I'm just inviting people to step into their greatness. The people that I get to, the pleasure and honor to work with, I am inviting them to step into it. I'm not convincing them. I'm not manipulating them. I'm providing an opportunity for them to answer the call. And right now, sister girl, you are being called to something, and either you can listen, you can either tune in your radio station, or you can change the channel. And if you change your channel, I don't know what's going to happen. But if you tune in, your frequency, I believe this more than ever, your frequency will be out of this world, electric, and you will it will be like a slingshot, right? Maybe that's what you feel like right now. Maybe you feel like you've been pulled back, you've been beaten down, you are hopeless. This is your last chance. Well, good. Okay. David killed Goliath with one stone in a slingshot. You have to be pulled back in order to be accelerated forward. And that's what's happening with you, sister, if you choose to answer the call.
Yeah. And we're not here to make you do that. That decision has to come on your own, and it's not going to come without fear. You're going to do it, and you're going to be terrified and awkward and nervous. And there's no way to do it while feeling safe. It just doesn't work like that. And if you're still listening at this point in the episode, you're being called, by the way. This is your fucking sign. Period. Hashtag, I would be banned from Instagram if I did that. But hashtag, this is your fucking sign. Emmy, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and breathing life into the people, making them laugh and giving them real takeaway stuff. I love you. I so appreciate you. You want to learn from this one. And I don't say that about many people. She knows what's up. I love you.
I love you.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.